The third set of concepts, which I want to outline before I give you the illustration, is transference and omnipotence. And this is something which has been discussed in this concept before. Can we think of everything that happens in the room as part of the transference? Or are there some aspects of the relationship between the therapist and the client or the supervisor and the supervisee as being real relationship which have nothing to do with their transference? So in that sense, can we say that all sexual feelings within the room, do they all form part of the transference paradigm? Or can we refer them and relate them to other aspects of the relationship? And the final concept, which will become, its significance will become clear later, is that I borrow from Winnicott his idea that a child, up to a certain point, and decreasingly so throughout life, sees everything that happens to him or her as part of their own omnipotence, their own normal, natural omnipotence. This is particularly important for my presentation in cases of child sexual abuse, where children who have been victims or survivors of sexual abuse have a sense that this has happened to them because of something they did, and it becomes an active part of their psyche, and since it is active, it seeks release, it seeks ways of being projected out onto the world, out onto other significant others. So, clinical illustration. Picture this. Sarah is a young social worker, student in a master's degree. Ben is a senior social worker, a psychotherapist, who is her supervisor in the placement that she is doing with special needs school in Tel Aviv. They meet once a week. She has some assignments to perform during her placement. One of them is to follow in counseling a child, a girl, a 10-year-old girl, who has been sexually abused, who is now placed in care but attends the school. She's an ordinary intelligence girl, but she has, understandably, some behavioral problems resulting from her reaction to the abuse that she suffered. And it is Sarah's assignment to follow her and to accompany her through some issues of coping with other kids in her class. Now, when Sarah was given, the student was given this placement, she was very displeased, because she actually wanted to be in a mental health adult clinic, and she was placed in this school where she felt she wasn't suitable because she didn't want to work with children. So she entered the placement with some hesitation, some resentment, some hatred towards the university, towards the world, and also towards Ben, her supervisor. But nevertheless, she tried to adapt very quickly and performed fairly well with the mission she was given. And things were going on quite well for a few weeks. And then after the fifth supervision session, Ben noticed that Sarah began coming to the school wearing a very, very short miniskirt. And he began to wonder, is this an appropriate dress code? He felt conflicted about his own concern as he felt attracted to Sarah, even before she was wearing a short miniskirt. It was unclear whether it was appropriate for him as a male therapist to approach her and remark upon her dress code. Things came to a head after 2 weeks when there was a visit of the social services director into the school, and she immediately commented upon this and asked him whether he thought it was appropriate. And and actually demanded of him to bring it up with Sarah and to see whether this was an issue of boundaries or whether it was an issue of transference. In any case, it was made clear that he was unable to just leave things as they are. Now, to look at a wider picture, working in Israel, one has always to be mindful of the various power structures that exist in Israel. The majority of the citizens in Israel are Jews, but there is a very strong minority of Muslims and Christians, two nationals, Israelis and Palestinians, and with small resolution, the supervisor, the student, male and female. Now, of course, it's the right of every woman to dress as she pleases, and the question is, what does one do with the desire that is then raised as a result of a particular dress code remains open. Now, supervision is an administrative process designed to improve services to clients through the development of the workers' or students' skills in the employment of agency-structured processes. How does one apply the issue of dress code to that? The third element in the picture, which might clarify it, is that the work that Sarah did with Michal, who was the 12-year-old girl who had been sexually abused, created some psychic resonance within Sarah, and she had a dream during the fourth week of the therapy, whereby she dreamt a young boy was being chased down a long corridor by male figures who seemed to want to drag him into a box. It was after this dream, which she reported to in supervision, that she began wearing the miniskirt. What does that just happen? And what I'm presenting now, the outcome, is a very concise description of a long process which occurred between Ben and Sarah. Is that the unconscious communications between them, between Michal, the girl, and Sarah, crossed and interacted with the unconscious communications between Sarah and Ben, and focused upon unresolved sexual issues and erotic transference issues, and created a symptom of the miniskirt. So Sarah wearing the miniskirt was a way of her notifying Ben that she has been affected by her interaction with Michal, with the girl who's been abused. And it coincided with her own wish, or maybe infantile wish, which has been frustrated to be placed in another setting to which she was. And the interaction between what she experienced with Michal and her own unresolved issue created this symptom, which Ben accepted readily, having been attracted himself to Sarah. So there was a triangle there, which involved all three participants.